Hello again, JAG family. I'm so excited to be here. The year is already moving so fast. Can you believe we are at the end of August already? How did that happen? We have a very special news desk episode here for you today. Our topic is leadership and how can you develop and use it during the coming school year. Going into this episode, students, ask yourself if you see yourself as a leader, and if so, how? What style of leadership do you exhibit? Our time is running fast, but just take a few seconds to think about it. And remember, all of you are leaders in some way. Even if it takes some digging to uncover, you are a leader. JAG students, we do have some announcements to go over. Our first order of business is election season. Coordinators, remember that you need to have your list of student officers submitted to the central office by September 17th. That means elections should be held by September 16th at the absolute latest. But if something comes up and you're not able to meet that deadline, please let me know. Remember that once officers are voted in by their peers, they will be expected to attend the JAG Student Leadership Conference. Woo-hoo! Keep our fingers crossed it can be in person. More on that coming your way in September. Also, keep in mind that it is Jagapalooza season and it starts October 1st. So I want you all to work diligently to share with your campus what your JAG program is, what your goals are for this particular school year. And remember, I need an invitation so that I can be there to support you and take pictures. With that in mind, let's turn it over to Martine and our special guest for this episode. Martine?
Hello, JAG family. Our speaker for today is Alana Langdon. She's a JAG board member with over 20 years of experience working in the private sector, public sector, transportation, and now currently with Nikola Corporation working on zero emission vehicles. So without further ado, now let's dive deep into leadership.
When it comes to JAG students and them being involved in their career associations, especially being officers or just being members, how can these JAG students, especially when if they're officers, really display these leadership skills, especially again making sure that others are heard, taking others into account? What tips and tricks do you have for them in terms of how to start out? Either whether there be the layout, the class layout, how seats are, or in terms of how they build relationships with one another.
I think the approach really needs to be as personable as possible. Really take the time to get to know those that you're meeting with and get to understand what are their goals, what are their priorities. Yes, you can come in there as a leader. You should have something to offer in the sense of you've thought about this, you've thought things through, and you have some things that you already have in mind that you would like to present for feedback or as initiatives to work on. But the key there is to get the buy-in. What good is a leader without having the buy-in of what you're proposing? So it's a real balance. And then of course, then as I mentioned before, then you put out these proposals and these initiatives and these thoughts, which really takes a lot of leadership to just initiate in and of themselves, but then to get others, to bring others with you to implement those ideas and make them a reality is a whole other level, because you can talk and talk and talk, but really what good is that until others, you can inspire others to be a part of what you've presented, but also make them feel a part of it as it gets implemented, and then everybody feels good about what's been achieved so along the way. So I just feel that building key relationships and bridges and getting folks buy-in is very key as a leader in order to really make an impact.
With that being said, when it comes to public speaking, what advice do you have to give students to be able to find themselves to not be as uncomfortable and to actually be feel more confident when public speaking?
I think just starting small and taking baby steps. It might just be that one person and one other person and practicing. I believe also there are resources through the JAG organization that can help students develop those skill sets. And as well as I think there are things in the community. I mean, feel free to go and do YouTube videos or practice videos. Your generation is very, very tech oriented and tech savvy. Watch yourself, and nobody else is watching you, but you can go and you can practice so many different times. And I think that's one thing that I wish I would have done a lot more of in growing up, is just kind of, it takes a lot of guts just to even try and just to even practice and get in front of one person, let alone, when I had to make presentations in front of not just one mayor and council members, but 28, 30 mayors plus presidents of Indian nations around the region. And that only sometimes comes with time and with practice. But I believe I would encourage to practice with yourself, practice with one other person, and then just branch out from there, small, and then take advantage of the resources that JAG has that can offer you, and work with your coordinator. And even those of us in the community, I know as a board member, I'm more than happy to do those types of practices with groups of students. Come in and give positive feedback, let you know what you can do better. So just take advantage of the resources at hand because you have so many through just this one organization.
What would you say to those students that are thinking of running for a position or just wanting to get more involved with JAG? You were mentioning a little bit of how you wish you would have practiced more like the public speaking skills when you're younger or starting off. What would you say about the importance of being involved and really running for a position in order to motivate those that are maybe thinking about it or second guessing themselves on the importance of being able to have this experience?
Yeah, I say if it's something you're thinking about, if it's something that you even minutely say, hey, maybe I could do that, go for it. And you may not win it the first time out, but you know what? You build those relationships, you get others get to know you, they start seeing that you have that potential, and that, hey, maybe the next time you do it, they go, you know what? We didn't know that person very much last time, but we've gotten to know her or him now. It's like, yeah, they do have what it takes, right? And I just say, don't give up. Don't give up. Be persistent, persevere. And I ran for student government president twice. I lost twice, but you know what? It didn't stop me from continuing to achieve and to continue to strive to my goals. And many times, sometimes in defeat, you become stronger. And don't take that as rejection. Just it may not be the right time, and it gives you some more time to build relationships and refine some of your skills. But I say don't hold yourself back. That's probably the worst thing that you could do for yourself. The world is yours, and it takes a lot of guts to just move forward and move through any types of second guessing or fear that you might have. And so I just say this organization is here to move you through those challenging times, and just go for it.
Thank you so much, Alana. Now, Ms. Lipsy has some words to share with you all regarding leadership.
I think it's extremely important to know that leadership sometimes you may be leading from the front of the group. You may be leading from behind the group. You may be leading in the middle, but I think leadership, it transfers from time to time, because you may not be strong in one area, but someone else on your team is strong in that area. In that case, transfer that leadership. Allow them to take on that goal, because their strengths are now your strengths. That's the best part of being a part of a team, is that you don't have to be good at everything. Perfect what you know you're good at and work in that area of strength, and allow someone else to be the strength for you as they're working in that area. So my biggest advice to you, as you go into your career association and to the JAG students in regards to their leadership roles, is to know that you should depend on one another, and that each of you are bringing a wealth of knowledge to your organization. Don't be shy. Every experience you have in your life is a lesson learned. And maybe you've gone through something already that your team is trying to figure out what could be the end result. And because you've already done that before, you can say, hey, well, I tried that in the past, and then this is what happened to me. Not necessarily saying it's going to happen again, but offering up what your experiences are is valuable to your team. So I suggest to all of you, and especially those that are presidents, take into account that just because you may be the president, it also means that you have a fantastic team with a wealth of knowledge that you should make sure that they are opening up and sharing. With that said, it is time for the Wheel of Names.
All of this week's entries came from Westview High School. Woo!
Go Westview! They participated in the Wheel of Names by going to jagaz.org
Ooh.
and clicking on the student portal right here.
Okay.
They watched the News Desk episode and they took the corresponding quiz. So they watched the episode, they took a short 3 to 5 question quiz, and they were entered into the Wheel of Names, and now we're gonna spin to see who won.
Well, I hope since they're all from Westview, they will share their prizes.
Let's see who won from Jag Swag.
All right, you guys ready for the Wheel of Names?
Daniela Rios.
You are this week's winner. Don't forget to share your swag with your friends.
Woohoo! And you can win the next Wheel of Names by taking the corresponding quiz to the News Desk episode. Just watch this episode and take the quiz, and look for your name on the next Wheel of Names. Bye!
All right, congratulations.
Students, look around you now and think about who in the room with you is a leader. Your coordinator, your friends, your peers. Think about the resources you have around you and the tools you have available to you to develop as a leader. Well, family, it is time to get back to work and JAG leadership for you and me both. So let's wrap it up for now. JAG fam, I will see you next time. And until then, remember, love, peace, and hair grease. Catch y'all next time. Bye.